Welcome to Around the Hearth, the Hearthstone podcast brought to you weekly.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Around the Hearth. This is episode 51.
51.
And this is Around the Hearth, a Hearthstone podcast thrown together by a bunch of guys who somehow have made it through an entire year. Yes, that's right, everyone. It is our anniversary show. Around the Hearth is 1 year old officially. Woo!
Yeah.
And
Second longest relationship.
Yeah. We've come so far, just like your other relationship, we've come so far, and it's really cool to see where we came from a year ago. Just a bunch of guys who just wanted to have some fun to what we're doing now today. And so I want to give a big shout out, of course, to our two Patreons, Luis and Beardy Man. You guys have been with us for a while, and you definitely helped make this show possible. So thank you so much. And we're just so excited to have you guys here for our anniversary show. So we were thinking, what could we do a little different? And we were like, well, our week in Hearthstone is just about a week. So we're like, how's about we talk about our year in Hearthstone, right? So it only makes sense. I think that goes perfectly with our anniversary show. So let's kick it over to Dubz. Dubz, how was your year in Hearthstone?
Man, all right. So let's start all the way back for a year ago. I was sitting on Reddit. I was like, man, I really just want to be a part of a podcast. So, linked up with you guys. We had top deck wins at first. Rest in peace. Never came back.
Good old top deck wins.
Yeah. So that was our trial. We got that out of the way. It was very fun. And then we came with Around the Hearth. And then a few months later, we were doing that. I finished Rank 1 Legend in Wild, which was awesome. I never thought I would get anywhere near that. I was really happy about that. They actually got me signed to a team, Invisible Threat Gaming. And then about 6 to 8 months later, I actually got picked up as a manager now. And now rebobson's boss. But, yes, I mean, it's that. We've been an innkeeper now for 9 months. So I've been doing that. It's been a very, very good year in Hearthstone. So I'm very happy, and we've got leaps and bounds.
Yeah, it's awesome that not only have you just been doing stuff for yourself to enjoy Hearthstone, like 99.99% of the Hearthstone community, but I think it's awesome that you, just like Adam, who we're very sad you couldn't make it today, Adam. But we're definitely thinking about you here today on our anniversary show. But it's awesome that you guys make that extra mile to do the innkeeping, because I think that's just a really awesome way to just make Hearthstone in your community, and it's so much fun. You guys have been awesome. So super shout out for that, and that's just really awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, rebobson, where were you? Where were you a year ago?
So let's take our mind back. When we started this show, I was the only member of the show that hadn't hit Legend before.
You were the what?
I had not hit Legend until we'd been doing this show for like a month or two.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Now you won't stop.
Yeah. Now, the past month has been like my most successful one to date. Over the weekend, I actually helped out Beardy Man, our patron. I spectated him and was coaching him through the last 5 or 6 games of his own Legend climb. Watched him hit it.
Congratulations, Beardy Man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You really deserve it, man. But I was watching him just like playing some Wild. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. So that night I just went from rank 4 in Wild to hit Legend in Wild, which was my 4th Legend for the season.
Crazy.
And this is, like I said, I had never hit Legend before, like until a couple of months into us doing this show, and now I'm on like 15, 16.
Well, like I guess Legends are like Pringles, right? Once you pop.
I'm just addicted to getting to Legends. Like I don't even particularly care about how high I finish once I get there. I just like getting there. I just it's just a rush. Although this month I am going to be actually trying, because I've entered for the UK Nationals, which take the points based off this month and next month. So I'm actually going to be tryharding. But it's crazy to see how much better I've got in just the time we've been doing this. I've become like the show's kind of token tryhard competitive player, and I love it, and I'm come on leaps and bounds with like the other stuff I do in Hearthstone, my casting, my writing, my content production. Like I've been told that my influence has been spreading, and like whenever I hear like someone who's heard of the show or who's like a fan of us, or I mean me specifically, as I've been told a few times, that just makes it like worth it. It feels awesome.
Yeah. No, I love it, and it's good. It's great to see you though, how much you've personally grown, as opposed to me, for example, who's just kind of hung around for the show for a while. But no, it's great to see you writing, or getting into writing, of different articles. You've definitely been doing awesome. You wrote some amazing guides. You're always helping people. You're basically coaching for free. You're a big part of a game of tournament, the scene. There's just so much that you've done and accomplished to become part of the legit community, and not just dad legends like me. But it's really awesome, and
it is
really
sweet.
Really glad to see how far you've come.
Yeah, I feel like I've come a great deal, and I feel like there's still plenty more to do. Next up, this time next year, I'm gonna be casting for Blizzard. That's the goal. But awesome. Squirrel, so how about you?
Well, I hope not. Then you might have to drop off the show if you work for Blizzard. You might not. It might be a conflict of interest.
Nah, I mean Chorus.
You choose us over them.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I'm going to be sticking around.
Golden Wisp, which this year, well, we should give a shout out to the Golden Wisp for being awesome.
For being inspirations, obviously.
Yeah, they were definitely our inspiration. Alec, especially for me, so he went to Blizzard, and I know that they had to shut down.
Yeah, I think working as a game designer is a little bit different to working as like a caster or a just general content creator. But anyway, Squirrel, how about your year in Hearthstone?
This has been a great year. I've had so much fun playing. I've gone from my highs to lows, where I had 3 legend runs in a row, which was awesome, 4 and 5 months. So I'm very proud of myself as a player, where I came from and where I am now. I really feel that I've learned a lot of skills and different ways to play the game better. But I know that I have a long way to go, because my control game's still not that good. I got to get better. So that's why I really enjoy playing certain decks. And I said to myself, this month I'm not going to really focus on learning. I'm just going to have a lot of fun this month and play, especially with the new release coming out. So I can't wait. But I'm just happy for the show, and for where we've all come, and to the production quality and the way that we can and put this out every week. And I look forward to Monday nights. Every Monday night, I look forward to sitting down with you guys, having some fun. And so that's been my awesome year. And I hope that next year we'll be right back here at episode 102, talking all about it. So
it's been quite a journey. And obviously, if anyone is thinking 51's 51? We did take a week off for Christmas, so that's why it's such a weird number. So I think we've all had pretty good years in Hearthstone, and I think we've just got a little bit of news to talk about.
Sure, but before we get to the news, we've come a long way in terms of our production quality, and we again want to say thank you to our Patreons, and if you want to help support the show for all these things that we've done, and to even like help make it better, because we're just trying to incorporate new things every week. You can always go to patreon.com/Around the Hearth. There you can sign up for many different rewards, including coaching from any one of us, but you probably want rebobson, or Dubz, not me. It's a great way to help support the show. So thank you once again. And now let's move into game news.
Dubz, hit it.
Oh, okay, cool. Well,
Oh, wait, no. It is me. Sorry.
it's you, but I'll do it.
Let's have Dubz kick this off. You got the tournament news to talk about.
All right, cool. So, in response to the post of the Hearthstone forums, developers did clarify how Rush works if there's Rush and Charge together. They said that basically if they have Rush and Charge, they can attack anything, face or minions. So basically, Charge takes precedence. So, yeah, if you ever have a way to actually get both.
Right, so Charge just takes precedence over Rush. If it's got both, it's just got Charge. It's basically the deal.
Face. Basically, just go face.
Yeah.
And then this next one is what's up?
Yeah, this is something I wanted to talk about a bit. So anyone who's played at Legend will have noticed that the past month wasn't really smooth sailing so far as things at Blizzard's end were. So the MMR did undergo another change last week, like towards, I think it was like the 29th or the 30th. And this was done without any kind of announcement from Blizzard. And what Blizzard later announced and said that they had done is that when they changed the requirement that players play 30 games to acquire HCT points in a season, they increased the volatility of anyone's rank who was playing at Legend. So that if you won a game, you would gain more Legend ranks, and if you lost a game, you would lose more. So just to allow for the people who'd been playing more games a season to gain more ranks, etc., etc., etc. And that was fine because it was a universal change, and it happened very early in the season. So people could kind of compensate for that during the 30 games. But on the 29th, Blizzard reversed this change for some unbeknownst to anyone reason. And so they reduced the volatility back to its original state so that players kind of stuck around the ranks they were at. The decay dropped like hugely. So players who had just kind of got to a high Legend rank at, say, the 28th, then just didn't need to play anymore. They could just sit there. Like, players who were at rank 5 Legend just didn't play a game for the last couple of days. And the players who had just had, like, a bad day on the 28th were just kind of stuck lower down. That's kind of a big... Yeah, that's kind of a big deal for people who actually rely on the game for, like, their sponsorship, their income, especially as it's the last season of the 3-season period. So a lot of people were really heavily relying on their points totals to qualify for prelims. Blizzard did release a statement saying, "We apologize for not communicating this when we did it," because it took a whole kind of day of people being very angry on Twitter in order for an official response to even come out. And the general reaction to the apology was just, we're not angry that you didn't communicate this, we're just angry that you actually did it. Because it's a decision which doesn't really make much sense. It punished a lot of players unduly for just kind of their position on the second to penultimate day rather than their efforts at the end of the season.
Sure, yeah, that's just crazy to think about them changing something like that. Like, I could see them doing it on the first of the season and saying something, but for them to do it at the end of the season doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, it's very, the timing was just very, very strange. There's a lot of players very, very unhappy with it, and just from a kind of public relations perspective, I think Blizzard just really wants to forget about the entire month of March, because the ladder changes did not go smoothly, and more than once at that.
I went from rank 100 Legend, and I lost a couple games. I went up to 400 after 3 losses. And then I said, I'm just going to play a silly stream. And I was taking deck codes, ended up at 700-800. And then I was like, okay, maybe I should actually play serious. But I started on the 29th and 30th. And then
You're getting like 10 ranks a win.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, never mind.
Well, I guess I'm stuck here now.
So I just started playing standard. It sucked.
Yep, like it was basically just rewarding players purely for timing rather than anything else. Just the players who happened to win on the 28th-ish were the ones who got the highest finishes on average, and that kind of sucks. It meant that a lot of players' efforts on the last days of the season were kind of a lot less relevant than players' efforts on the 27th, 28th-ish. And that's not really how the season should work. The people's efforts on the last day of the season should be the ones that matter the most, and getting decreasingly less important as you go backwards, not a weird spike a couple of days before the end.
Well, that was a giant mess up.
Yep. Hopefully nothing like that happens again. They are just going to stick with the system they have in place now, and we will never have to talk about these tremendous cock-ups again. But enough about the bad news from what's been coming out of Blizzard. Let's talk about some good stuff that's been coming out of Blizzard, and this is of course everyone's favorite part of this show. So everyone, I'd like to welcome you all to Around the Hearth's card reviews of everything that's been coming out of Blizzard for the past week since our last show. So without further ado,
cards wrong.
Let's go to Witchwood.
Let's go to Witchwood, boys. So
very good Hagatha impression.
Marvelous. So up first, we got the Muck Hunter, a 5-mana, 5/8 rush battle cry. Summon 2/1 Mucklings for your opponent. Thoughts? It's pretty overstated.
It is pretty overstated, and if you think about just taking 1/2/1 out, it becomes, like a 5/6 for 5. But that also leaves him a 2/1 on the board, so it's almost like a 5/4.
5 and a 5/4 with rush. In like Warrior, say if you have some kind of whirlwind effects, or if you have the Mage hero power, it's basically a 5 mana 5/6 with rush.
Sure.
So,
well, it'd be like a 7-mana 5/6 with rush because you'd have to use 2 mana to ping.
Yeah, that's true. So, I think it's a very fair card.
Yeah.
It's not going to see any playing constructed probably for that exact reason, but it's pretty solid.
Yeah, again, if this whole Tempo Warrior rush thing works out, possibly this could find its way in there. I really don't have enough information on the other rush cards available or how that deck would be constructed with whirlwinds and things to see if this would be viable or not. But it's definitely interesting, and I think it's a good epic.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a good epic exactly for the reason that it's not a good epic.
Exactly.
Kobolds and Catacombs introduced way too many super powerful epics that you basically needed to play. Yeah. So introducing an epic which isn't very good is fantastic.
Yes, agreed.
So I don't think we've got too much to say on this one. Let's move swiftly on.
Fun with the axe we'll talk about later.
Speaking of rush warrior tempo warrior things, we've got the Red Band Wasp, a 2-mana 1/3 beast rush, has +3 attack while damaged.
AK
Enrage.
I like this. I think that this is a good card. I think that in a rush deck it would be good, but I think that even in not a rush deck, I think that this is a pretty good card especially for tempo. I mean, 1/3s for 1 are always really good cards because you can kind of help keep board. So if you're like on the coin, for example, and they drop like a 1/1. You can play this, you can rush it, and then you're stuck with a 4/2 on turn 2. You know what I mean? So I think this can be a very offensive or defensive card, and I like it.
Yeah, I think the effect is a little awkward for the phase in the game it comes out, because like you really kind of want the plus attack before you do that early trade.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things don't really have 1 health, so this isn't going to kill a lot of stuff when it comes out.
Sure.
You can
it
like
could fit in
whirlwind
this.
or something like that.
Yeah, it could definitely fit into this kind of tempo warrior thing that
Yes.
Blizzard appear to be gunning for with the class. So
I like it.
yeah, plus it's cool and should
Yeah,
be
it's a cool
pretty.
card.
But both the cards we've seen so far should be pretty solid in Arena. Moving on, we got a lot of cards to go through, and this one, holy crap! We
Yeah.
got Lord Godfrey, 7 mana,
crazy.
Warlock Legendary, 4/4 stats, Battle Cry, deal 2 damage to all other minions. If any die, repeat this Battle Cry. Now that effect sounds really familiar.
Yeah,
I hate
it's
the file. I'm gonna hate this even more. I just know it.
This is
Lord Big Defile.
Lord
Ugh.
Big Defile is nuts. Quite
Yeah.
simply, this is insane, and it's super flavorful, which is pretty awesome. Lord Godfrey had like his pistol barrage, which would just like kill everything. And wow, this is one boss that I actually played a lot of Gilneas in the meager amount of WoW that I've played, and I know that this guy was he just like kind of kill everything, his own
He's
stuff
awesome.
included. So the effect is really cool and really works. It's just the fact that it's Warlock. Didn't really need this.
Absolutely. I love the character. I love the flavor. I love the card. I think that
Yeah, it is super sweet.
I think that you have your defiles and you have your early game kind of removal. You have your Hellfire. You have all different things in different ways with either more recoil or just different things you want to do early game to control that time. But there's so many times that you're on turn 7 and you're like, God damn, if I had one more mana to cast that Twisting Nether, I'd win this game. And now if you have this guy in your hand, you have that Twisting Nether basically, because you could blow up a whole board very easily with this in your hand.
And I mean, the 2 damage instead of 1 damage is so huge. This card is impossible to play around. Like, there's no way you can not have anything with 2 or lower health. That's just like if you're an aggro deck, you just can't do that for the most part. Like this is going to clear most boards almost all of the time.
Yeah, I liked in the video where they showcased him. It was a 2/4/6.
Yeah, they killed a Tyrantus.
Yeah, he was just like, "Nope, you're all dead."
Yeah, no,
Yep.
it's very cool. I don't think this is a Golden Craft Day 1, but we might get to one of those later on.
Squirrel.
Wink, wink, wink. We might get to a priest card later on that I think might be worth it.
So
but-
you only craft like the unplayable Warlock Legendary.
Yes, no, absolutely. If
This is far
card
too
was-
good.
This was a 1/1 that's Battlecry was to kill itself. That's what the Golden Craft for me.
Yeah, this card is
Not
nuts,
something good.
and it's nuts in a class which just did not need it. This card could just. I mean, Warlock's good. Warlock's gonna be good. This is a really
Nothing's
good card.
rotating. It was a Mistress of Mixtures for this, so it's fair trade.
Yeah.
That's more than a fair trade. But yeah, this card is nuts. A solid like 5 out of 5, 6 out of 5 card for me.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the next one. We got the Hunting Mastiff. This is a hunter card. It's a 2 mana 2/1 beast with both the new keywords Echo and Rush. Meh. Thoughts, opinions?
This card is awesome. It's going to be really good with Rexar. That's a big thing. I think the big thing is this is going to be in the beast pool of Rexar.
I totally agree with that.
So like if you get like a good 5-drop out of it, you can play 2 of them. And it has Rush as well. So you can get 2 really good trades and have a solid body. Or what if you get like Knuckles or something in Wild? That'd be crazy.
So maybe with this one, if you got like this and Stubborn Gastropod,
Oh yeah.
that would be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Just like charge into 2 massive things, kill them off. Yeah, I think this is just a Rexar card. I don't think you're ever going to run this.
Or even this in the Wasp. The
that's pretty
Stealth
spicy.
Wasp or the Basilisk.
Just any poisonous. Is
Yeah,
gonna be
anything.
nuts
Just-
in
Oh
Rexar.
man, yeah, give it Divine Shield and Poison.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is a cool card. I don't think outside of Rexar though.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm with you
would
there.
wouldn't you rather just play on Leash?
Well, exactly, but some cards don't need to be printed to see play. Like I like this. I mean, I'm sure that some people are gonna play it like someone like who's playing a Spell Hunter, or if that's a thing still, or just a mid-range hunter. This card is perfect. The fact that this is even printed makes the deck even better. So that's.
I think it's cool for Arena. I think that if you're in Arena and you're just kind of like dueling back and forth, and you just both don't really have many resources left, top decking this feels pretty good. To get 5 of them out when you have nothing else to do. So
I think that's pretty much the same for any Echo card, though. Echo is going to be insane in Arena.
So that's what would make it better than Unleash in that regard. But
you can play it proactively. That is a big deal.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, but I don't think this is going to see any play in constructed decks anytime soon.
I agree.
Moving swiftly on to a card that I really like. This is the Forest Guide, a 4-mana rare druid minion. 1/6 stats. At the end of your turn, both players draw a card. So this is kind of like Jeeves's not so impressive little brother.
I see why they got rid of Cold Light. Mildrew would be a disaster.
Yep. Anyone who is in our Discord has seen me kind of yapping on about Mildred being a thing, and I won't shut up about it. So you should all join our Discord and witness that. Just tell me I'm wrong when the expansion hits, but I'm convinced. And I think that Druid has some fun toys to play with when it comes to milling your opponent's cards, and I think that's one of the reasons why Cold Light Oracle is going to rotate. And this card fits in there, and I'm fairly certain that Master Oakheart is going to be something to do with it as well.
Oh man.
There's some cool stuff you can do with Druid, like with the Astral Tiger, with Oakheart, with this guy, the 1 attack. And you can just fatigue your opponent eventually. And I think that's a much cooler fatigue mechanic than Jade Idol.
Yeah.
Because we are more than happy to see that card rotate. And this is it's not like a much fairer way of doing it. Obviously the card is really, really weak. Super weak.
Really weak.
Yeah.
Which is why I think Oakheart is the thing with this card, because you are not happy playing this card on turn 4.
No, not at all.
And you are only going to play this in a really specific, very synergistic deck. Outside of that, it's
would you
terrible.
even want it for like an Oaken Summons to get this out? Would that feel bad? I think so.
Moderately.
Because I don't think you'd get your end of turn. No, you would get your end of turn. Never mind. But I don't know. I don't know how good that would feel.
I mean, turn 4 against Q block, you're generally gonna mill them.
Oh yeah,
card.
you'll
So
start
is that-
mill some cards off mill up or Q block.
Yeah, but Oaken Summons is just a really good card. You probably feel moderately bad. It's a deck which I'm going to play around with a lot and try and construct a good one. So people will be hearing that once Deck of the Week comes back when the expansion hits. But as a standalone card, this is obviously terrible. I think we can all agree on that. But I'm going to have some fun with it nonetheless. So let's move along to Wanted. You got to shout it. You got to shout it. It's in all capital letters. That's the way these things work.
Wanted.
The start of all the 4-cost deal 3 damage cards.
Yep. Continuing along the fine tradition which Flanking Strike has started. This is a rogue epic spell, 4 cost, as Ztdubz just said, and it's deal 3 damage to a minion. If that kills it, add a coin to your hand. Now let's compare this to Flanking Strike. A 3/3 wolf or a coin. Which one would you prefer? I'd go with the wolf.
Yeah,
I'd go with the wolf, but with rogue. Coin
a
coin
is pretty valuable in rogue.
Okay, let's look at it this way. Let's think about this compared to Tomb Pillager.
Oh, Tomb Pillager is much better. I love Tomb Pillager.
Yeah,
Well,
so
Tomb Pillager was a must include, though. You can't really compare many things to Tomb Pillager.
you know, but I mean, it's a 4-mana card which gives you a coin eventually.
Right.
Like
It just
a
doesn't give you
5/4 or dealing with 3 damage. Like this is okay. It's kind of just okay, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I think they had to play prep in mind when they were making this, because if it was any cheaper, it'd be really good, and then if it was free,
Yeah.
that would
It's
be
a-
insane.
Yeah, no, this kind of typifies. Brian Kibler posted a really interesting video recently about his views on like the issue with the classic set and the kind of like the fact that different classes have very different power levels within their classic cards, and Rogue is like the most powerful classic set, which means that Blizzard keep having to print quite weak Rogue cards just to kind of balance things. And like just the power of things like preparation in particular means that Rogue spells have to be quite weak, otherwise Rogue is just going to be insane. And this is like the best example of that, because like this is a fairly weak card, but it's got to be weak because preparation is so strong.
So why is it an epic? When it feels so bad pulling
And
this.
again, it's a bad epic, and I like seeing those. Though that's less dust for us to spend, and I like doing that. But do we have any other opinions on this card? Just kind of okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Solid.
We got nothing else.
Right, let's move on from this moderately bad card to Scaleworm. This is a 4-mana 4/4 beast, neutral, rare, battle cry. If you're holding a dragon, gain +1 attack and rush. I mean,
It's a decent card. It would
Yeah.
definitely go in a dragon deck.
yeah, I mean, dragon decks are pretty short of 4-drops.
I mean, a 4-mana 5/4 is always good stats, and then it has rush. You can get a good trade.
But man, it's just so unfortunate that this card is coming into standard just as the curate is released. A beast which needs
Also
a dragon.
coming in the wild, though.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're the wild perspective on the show. From a standards perspective, like this card is coming in just as the curate is released, and it's like a beast which requires a dragon. It's so perfect, but it's just missing the window of opportunity.
Yeah, Curate is gonna be good in wild too. I mean, get
Curate is a pretty cool card,
get yourself a Scaleworm, your dragon.
and maybe just chucking the Cold Night Oracle just for the hell of it.
Yeah, why not? It's a wild now. He deserves that.
Yep. I mean, it's a pretty strong card. For what it does, I just don't know if there's a deck which, well, if dragon decks are really going to be a thing. That very much remains to be seen with Netherspite Historian rotating out. We haven't seen too much in the way of dragons yet.
We haven't seen him yet. Well, we did see a big one that's really bad.
We did see the Hunter one.
I would love to see an aggro dragon rush deck. That would be cool. Just fast stuff, fast dragons, like some sort of thing
champion.
like that.
Alex Jones' champion. We
I
miss
miss
you.
that card so much.
It was a sweet card. Yeah,
For
no,
the
this is-
Dragon
This is just a
Queen.
neutral version. Worse, like not. I would say worse, but it's a different neutral version.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those cards where I think it's a good card, but it might just go without a home, or at least for the time being. Obviously, more dragons are going to come into the card pool as the year of the Raven continues. So this card is one which could increase in power.
I mean, usually every set has a couple dragons, so especially at the end, I'm sure this card will be seeing a lot more play.
Yeah, in a couple expansions time, this card could be doing the rounds. Who knows? But as it stands, there just may not be enough dragons for this little guy to see play. Moving on to a really cool card. We've got the Vex Crow, a 4-mana mage neutral minion, 3/3 stats. It's a beast, and it says whenever you cast a spell, summon a random 2-cost minion. So that's pretty powerful.
Yeah, it's really awesome. It's really, really awesome. I love the way the card works. I really feel like Little Spell Mage is going to be fun, especially there was a leak of a card that, and I'm not going to go into it because I think it was possibly not real, but the point is that Little Spell Mage would be really, really fun to have, where the point is to just cast little things, to keep to buffing your hand, to cast little things, to put little things on the board. Like, I really like that. I think it would use a lot of thinking and a lot of strategy around that, and I'm excited to play that archetype.
Yeah, Zoo Mage coming to a house near you.
Yeah.
I feel like it would, like, Zoo Mage would function in a very similar way to kind of Tempo Mage used to, with like things like Sorcerer's Apprentice, Arcane Missiles, Mirror Image, just a bunch of zero-cost spells, summon a bunch of little dudes. Whether that deck is something which is viable or not remains to be seen, but it sounds like fun, and I'm down with that. It's just a cool card.
I love it. I mean, just for memes and stuff, you could pair it with Flamewaker and Wild to just keep like pinging your opponent in the face and getting little dudes at the same time. So,
and like, guys, can we just all appreciate the input that this card is going to have on Trollden? Just the whenever this card summons Doomsayer, it's going to be great. Because that is going to happen a lot.
Yeah, for me every time.
Yep, 100% Squirrel is going to summon Doomsayer with this card.
Yeah, so I might as well craft it golden so I could get golden versions of Doomsayers that pop
Golden
out.
Doomsayer is pretty sweet.
Okay, so
I think
let's move on to the next card.
Move on to the next meme. We've got the Blackwall Pixie. This is, I think, my favourite card art from the set so far, by the way. It looks so cool. I really want to see what this looks like in golden, considering it's already golden. But anyway, Blackwall Pixie is a 3-mana neutral common minion. It's 3/4, no tribal tag, and it's battle cry, refresh your hero power. So this is like nerfed Beardo, essentially.
Yes. I also think it gives you another way to have the Paladin OTK without relying on a single card. You know, if you throw maybe one or two of these in your deck to kind of like set up for things, you could kind of try to set up a little easier, I guess, maybe. But
yeah, I mean, it is no longer OTK Paladin. It is like 2TK,
2TK.
2TK.
Yeah, three turn kill. Like it loses that kind of explosive finish, which we've kind of associated with the deck. This will help it get there, but I'm not sure about this card.
Hunter, though, too. Like Face Hunter, I know it's a little slow, but later in the game, hero power for 3, drop it, hero power for 3 again. It's also a 3-mana 3/4. So like if you have to play early game, you know, it's still a decently statted body.
Yeah, but that is kind of the but if you play it in the early game, you can't use this battle because it is a battle cry.
Oh, of course. I just meant like, worst case, if you had no other choice, it's still a spider tank. So,
yeah.
Like, the battle cry can come in handy later, and you hit him for 6 in a turn, and then or you can get a good body.
Yeah. It's basically gonna come down to how tight deck lists are and whether they can afford to run a card like this. Because I mean, it's obviously it's a fairly good battle cry. One thing which was mentioned was Quest Warrior.
Definitely.
The double sulfurous hit, the double die insect is pretty cool, but can you afford to run a 3-mana 3/4 in Taunt Warrior? Is the question.
Yeah.
And that kind of question is the one which comes up for pretty much every deck. Just like, do you want to run a 3-mana 3/4 in a deck which just which wants to do something else entirely? Because it's not the strongest card, and it is a slider tank, which isn't the worst, but it's a card which doesn't directly contribute to any deck's game plan beyond like that one-off thing it does at one point in the game. So, while I do love the way this card looks, I'm not sure about it really working as a thing. But super cool arena card also.
Yes.
2 hero powers in arena is nutso. But Yeah, do you guys have any other thoughts on this card?
No, I was thinking the same thing about Arena. I think it's not bad for Arena, either on curve or, again, you don't feel bad top decking it late in the game because 2 hero powers is strong. But I don't know. He's cool, or she's cool.
The art really makes me think of Majora's Mask, and that's why I like it so much.
Yeah.
Because Majora's Mask
it's cool. I give it like 2 stars for now, and we'll see.
I saw a 2 on the Squirrelometer. Moving on, we got the other card in the hero power set. We got the Clockwork Automaton, the 5 mana 4/4 mech. Got a new mech. That's rare.
Oh, yeah.
It's a common minion, and it says double the damage and healing of your hero power. So this is
I'm very excited about this one.
This is Velen in mech form. So
I'm very excited about this one.
this is cool. But this is one where I'm just like, what does this go in? Where does this fit?
It goes in Control Warlock as a one-of. I know you guys don't agree with me, but I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna be fun.
So you want a life tap for 4 damage.
He wants to play Gul'dan.
Yeah,
and then he wants to play this and hero power for 6.
And if you deal 6 damage, gain 12, they don't kill it, you do it again. I mean, obviously, it's a target, so it's like a must-kill thing at that point. And you're dealing 6 and gaining 12 every time. I know it's the wacky stuff.
Hell.
Yes, I'm a very greedy man.
And well, like the biggest problem I have with the it goes in Control Warlock argument is just the fact that like Control Warlock is losing almost nothing with the rotation. What the hell are you taking out for this?
Mistress of Mixtures.
Yeah.
Like, are you replacing Mistress of Mixtures with this?
Yeah, why not? I don't know. I'm just gonna try it. It sounds very fun. It's a common.
Because he's greedy.
If I waste 40 dust, I waste 40 dust.
I mean, we're all gonna have like 10 of these after our pack opens
I will
anyway.
screenshot dealing 6 and gaining 12, and it's gonna be awesome.
Oh no! Well, the one time it works, it's gonna be fantastic. The other times where you have a 5 mana 4/4 against an aggro deck is not gonna be so great. I think this is the Blackwall Pixie problem. It's not very synergistic with a lot of other things besides a hero power. And while that is kind of cool, it's definitely I think this is a great card for maybe players with small, like both this and the Blackwall Pixie are like pretty cool cards for free-to-play players to just kind of chuck in decks because they are quite strong, but I don't think they're quite strong enough to make like the tier 1, tier 2 decks. No. That's still cool. They are cool, good cards, and that's fine. I'm down with that. So on to the next card.
Well, before we go to the next card, I'm going to go on a tangent, and a lot of people have been talking about how the power level of the cards in this set just seems a little low.
Yeah.
And I think that's good. Because
me too.
Because you don't want a super strong deck or a set as your set for the beginning of the year, because then that is going to overtake the whole year. I mean, look at Jade and
look at Gadget-san as the prime example of what happens when you print a really powerful set really early on in a rotation.
Right, it just stuck around for two years. You had the same archetypes, so I'm kind of excited for the fact that the power levels, though, because I think what they're doing is they're keeping standard in check, and they're kind of saying, "Whoa, things are a little crazy right now. Let's just kind of bring it down with a Raven, and then we can ramp things up as the year goes on." And I like that. So I think from a design perspective, when you're looking at these and you're like, these are kind of meh. Think about it in that perspective.
Yeah. Kind of related to that, I'm just like 100% expecting a cube lock nerf, just to kind of tie in with that particular philosophy, and maybe a call to arms nerf as well, because once those problems are addressed, then they will kind of bring the general power level of like just standard format as a whole kind of quite far down compared to what it is now, and I think that is going to be
way too good.
Awesome. Yeah, call to arms is broken.
I mean,
It's
I
just
play almost
fundamentally
exclusively Paladin,
broken.
and I want it nerfed. Even it feels dirty playing it. It feels good to win with it, but it's dirty.
It's just like, okay, I drew Call to Arms. I win.
Yeah.
I was playing a Paladin mirror real quick, and I played Call to Arms on 3 with a coin, and then he played Call to Arms on 4, and then I played as my second Call to Arms on 4, and he just conceded.
Just like, okay, I'm done here.
Yeah,
Whoever plays 2 first wins usually.
yeah.
That's how it is.
It's pretty
So, okay,
good.
let's move on to more expansion news. Sorry about those tangents, everyone.
Moving on. I like this card. We got the Coffin Crasher. It's a priest card. It's a rare. It's a 6 mana, 6/5 Death Rattle. Summon a Death Rattle minion from your hand.
All right, Quest Priest.
Quest Priest. Yeah. I mean, the first card you see this and you think, oh, hello, Obsidian statue.
Yeah, now Priest has its own way to cheat out its broken 9-drop.
Yep. I mean, but it's not a broken 9-drop. It's just in a broken deck.
Yeah. Well, I'm just messing. But yeah.
Like Obsidian Statue is like such a fair card when it's not used in conjunction with Barnes.
Yeah, I mean, if they play it turn 9, you're like, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
That card's
it's still a
really
good
cool.
card on 9. Just when you play it on turn 4, then it's like, okay, I think
Or
Yeah,
2 of
it's
them on 4.
There's
oh
so
yeah,
many cool things
it
to
Wild
do with Coffin
Resurrect,
Crasher.
obviously a thing.
Especially like if you play the card that summons the 1/1 Death Rattles, like 1/1s of the Death Rattles, you can get a couple. You just start slamming cards from your hand for free almost.
Yep.
Yeah.
But this is a pretty funky card. It can definitely do some interesting stuff.
Absolutely.
Could fit in some kind of quest, like Death Rattle Priest, some kind of quest priest, even. Dare I utter the words?
Sure, and let's look at it. 6 mana, 6/5. That's solid.
Drake.
Yeah, exactly. And no one's ever feeling bad dropping a bone. And I think that this is a great card. You're getting great sets. It's only a rare, so crafting it's not going to be too expensive. It plays well with Carnivorous Cube, if you want to have a little fun. And there's just a SHI, ton of synergy with it. So
Family-friendly show, guys.
family friendly. So there's just a lot of synergy. I like it. I definitely think this is going to see play, and I'm glad that it's a rare and not epic.
Yeah.
It is just, this is a fun card, and I like that.
I think they hit the nail on the head with this.
like fun cards.
Just look at that art.
Good card.
Just look at that art. Look at that guy.
And the art has been fantastic. A big shout out to all the Blizzard artists who do all this work, because everything is getting every set better and better. So
I mean, I can't look at this art and just not go, look at this guy.
We'll talk about art when we get to a certain that's really bugging me about a card.
Yeah, no, we are going to get to like a fantastic art card, but for now, we got one of the warrior legendaries. We got Darius Crowley, another big name lore-wise for the set, and I'm glad to see this guy. And I really hope that I really hope there's going to be a bunch of cool interactions with all the Worgen characters with Sylvanas. I'm going to play all of them against Sylvanas and just see what happens.
That'd be cool.
But so Darius Crowley, a 5-mana warrior legendary, 4/4 stats. It's got Rush, and when this attacks and kills a minion, gain +2/+2. He's a mini Boogie monster.
A better Boogie Monster. A much better.
Yeah, obviously the Rush makes the Boogie Monster effect so much better, because the Boogie Monster is a terrible, terrible, terrible card. And this is like the Boogie Monster association makes me think this is a bad card by default, but the Rush that needs it's kind of cool. So, one important thing to note about this card is it has been confirmed by Mike Denais, I think, that if the health goes to 0 when it kills a minion, it does die. It doesn't do that weird interaction thing
where it goes to 0 and then +2.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Well, yeah, that
it
makes
does
sense.
die.
I wish it would do that. That makes sense.
It would be so strong if it did not do that. So I can see the reason they did that.
And it also says when it attacks and kills, so that's important that they say that. So it's not a defensive kill.
Oh, can you imagine?
Yeah, that would be cool. You know what I think would make this card really crazy? is like if you bumped it to like, see, I don't know how they would do it. Like if they bumped it to 6 or whatever, and they kept all the text the same except they added the sandworm effect, where you could just keep bumping things, with Rush, so you could just keep bumping like a whole board. It would be amazing.
Man.
That would be incredibly broken. They just never design cards for Blizzard.
No, I'm not a card designer. That's why I make awesome.
That would be a cool warrior spell though, like something like Berserk or something like that, where like 3 mana give it the sandworm effect.
That would actually be really cool.
Yeah.
Squirrel, that's a good idea. Yeah. Scrap your ideas. That's a reasonable idea.
It's teamwork. This is why Around the Hearth has survived a year.
And now we have a dream baby.
Got a dream baby. But yeah, this is... It feels kind of weak for a legendary, to be honest.
Yeah, this feels like a epic card.
Yeah, no, you could definitely just run 2 of these in a deck without like it being busted, right? That doesn't seem unreasonable. And if you think that about a legendary, it's not a good legendary. Like, it might be an alright card, but it's not a good legendary.
Yeah, I agree. For example, if I only had 1 Savannah Highmane in my deck, I'd still feel good about it.
This card is less powerful than Savannah Highmane. This just feels very slightly better than Corcoran Elite.
Yeah.
That's not great.
Not great.
Like once you got one like turn 5, a lot of things do not have less than 4 attack unless you're playing against aggro specifically, in which case this isn't going to do you a great deal because they're just going to ignore it.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. It didn't jump out as me as like, oh my god, when I saw it, and I still kind of feel that way.
We'll talk about the axe in a little bit. I feel like the axe is going to make a lot of these rush cards better.
Yeah, no, there is obviously going to be a lot of rush synergy within the expansion.
Like, if you build a good deck, a good rush deck for warrior, this actually might be pretty good.
Yep.
So we'll have to see.
Yeah, these cards, all these rush cards, and just the kind of the warrior cards in particular, may kind of tie together to make like something which is greater than the sum of its parts. But we're gonna have to wait and see on that one. But it could happen. But
I think they're just scared because charge was such an issue that they don't like overdo it with rush and make some like busted rush card.
Yep, and I totally agree. I think we'll have to wait and see on that one. But Rush Warrior is, like I said, going to be one of my day one plays. But let's move on to the dragon we were talking about earlier. Emeris, the corrupted green dragon. This is a 10 mana hunter dragon. For some reason, that just makes no sense to me. But yep, 10 mana, 8/8 dragon, legendary hunter minion, battle cry, double the attack and health of all minions in your hand. Don Hancho, eat your heart out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, he ensures you always have a dragon. If you have it in your hand, you won't get to play it until turn 10. So all your
no, you won't get to play it ever. You will never get to play this card. Why would you have this card?
I'm gonna run it in warrior and hunter just so I can proc all my dragon cards. I'll never play it, but I'll always have a dragon in hand.
I mean, there is some funny stuff you can do with like King Crush or.
Can you imagine though?
Charge minions, but that's literally it. Like
watch there be some crazy control hunter deck, and this is like just makes the deck absolutely busted.
But it won't. Like,
you know what this card would be excellent at? Would be bluffing to your opponent. Like you play this, and they're like, "Oh my god, there's going to be so much rush coming at me. I got to prepare. I got to defend," and you have none of that in your deck. You just keep playing like normal, and they just don't know what's going on.
Yeah, just play like a 12-10 high main.
Confusion. No, you know what this card's actually really good for?
A 2/2 alley cat.
There you go.
Which summons a 1/1 alley cat. The duplicate doesn't even get buffed. You know what this card's really good for? 400 dust. Like we've seen the hand buff thing before. We know it doesn't work. And right. So the
This
test
would have
for
been a
you.
cool Paladin card, though.
I don't think it would be, to be honest.
Oh, with the dragon. Oh, wow. Yeah, the dragon that makes your next dragon cost 3 less.
Yeah, but
Dragon
all your-
console.
But all Paladin cards are like the same attack and health. That's like their thing, isn't it?
Well, yeah, no.
They're all,
So
like,
it would just double them, but
just double them. It wouldn't do anything special.
So you guys, can you think of a 10 drop which doesn't immediately impact the board, which has ever been good?
Yogg when he hits his own face.
That impacts something.
Yeah, I mean, Sea Giant.
That's never a 10 drop.
It is for me.
Top deck sea giant on an empty board. Sadness.
No, I mean, a 10-minute 8/8 really sucks. And with
and-
Hunter, I mean, I could just see the issue. With Hunter, you're going to have like maybe 1-2 minis in hand. And then
Yep.
you're like, oh, okay.
Yep, Control Hunter, not a thing. A 10 drop, which is an 8/8, which doesn't impact the board directly, which has a weak battle cry, is not going to be a thing. This card sucks.
Maybe they'll have a bow that fills your hands with random minions. And then you
Locked
can
off.
Yeah.
All right, enough of that. Let's move on.
This card sucks. Copious things, which I'm not going to say. Moving on to another terrible card.
Balls.
Another bad card.
We've got the Ravencaller, a 3-mana 2/1 battle cry. Add 2 random 1-cost minions to your hand.
I mean, I guess this could be played in Hagatha Shaman.
Yes,
Quest Hunter. Quest Hunter.
That's good. Ever a thing?
You're playing a 3 mana to get more 1 mana, 1 cost stuff.
that is just so. 5 mana to play a 2/1 and 2/1 drops is so bad. That's not mana efficiency. That's dreadful. This card is just bad.
They should have said it's a Hunter card and made it like a
So what
2-mana,
about
2-mana.
Arena?
You'd feel bad drafting this in Arena for the most part, I think.
You'd have to get some pretty good 1 drops for it to be worth it.
Yeah, maybe if you got like 2 Flame Imps, then you'd be okay with it.
Just build it like a zoo type deck.
Yeah,
I guess.
if you're building like a really zooey Arena deck, maybe like I think you feel bad drafting this card in Arena for the most part, and that does not say great things about its viability in Constructed. This card is just really bad.
Yeah.
Moving on, Sound the Bells.
This card's cool.
A 2-mana Paladin common spell. Echo, give a minion +1/+2. So this is that. Like, it's been a kind of recurring theme that they take 1-cost spells, which already exist, make them 2 mana, and give them Echo. So Echo obviously just has a cost of 1. What is that? What is that Paladin spell? The +1/+2. Does anyone actually know?
Divine.
Hit us up in chat if you know. what
Divine
that
Favor.
card is called. No, that's the 3-mana draw a card, draw all the cards.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. I've been playing with that a lot. Divine Spirit?
No, that's the priest spell. You suck at this, Squirrel.
It's the 5 dust card that every time I ever get it, it's gone.
Yep.
This is a cool card though. I mean, especially if you top deck this, you can give something 5/10 late game. If you have nothing else to do. Or you can buff multiple minions.
It's like a really inefficient dino size.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's versatile. But it's much more versatile than dinosaurs.
Yeah, that is true. It's kind of cool.
So
if you play one though, it's really bad.
Yeah.
Right,
It's a solid card. I don't think you'll see much play. It'll probably see play at first and probably will wean out. But I mean, it's a cool
Quest
card.
Paladin. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
Quest
That
Paladin.
card seems to be really good with quests.
Yes,
But you
it
know-
does.
But here's and two, like in a Paladin deck with lots of little guys, you could definitely like a lot of times I find like you can just buff like one guy here and one guy there and one guy there. You make like 3 value trades and like would totally like win the whole game from it.
Oh
So
yeah, I mean this card can definitely
this
make
this
some
card,
trades.
yeah.
I think it's got to be really good in Arena also.
Oh yeah.
But outside of Quest Paladin, probably not a thing.
Now we need a way to make it free.
Like, in any kind of aggro paladin, I don't see you dropping Dark Conviction for this card.
Divine Strength.
Divine Strength. Thank you. That is not that. I did not know that.
And Lanessa. Yeah, that's true.
Yep,
Lanessa would get all these buffs.
Yeah, no, Lanessa would get each individual time you played the card, so that is pretty cool.
That take up a lot of time, though. You have to play, like,
if you're playing the really slow game, then that's pretty cool. It's a pretty slow card, is the thing. So I don't know what it works in. Because, like, Control Paladin obviously doesn't run this. Aggro Paladin, it's too slow for. Maybe if there's some kind of mid-range Paladin, this, like, or Quest Paladin, like we said, then this could see some play.
Galvadon.
Maybe we'll see Galvadon finally happen.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You play that music Ryan Kibler always plays when he plays Galvadon Paladin.
Galvadon, the last Kaleidosaur. He's got wind, fury, and a whole lot more. Anyway, moving on. Very, very swiftly. We got Cheap Shot, a rogue 2-mana spell. Like deal 2 damage to a minion. Like we said, again, this is Arcane Shot, but with Echo.
Yeah.
This
is really good.
I mean, I really appreciate the fact that in the artwork, it's just a guy getting kidney punched.
He's like,
oh, my kidneys. Yeah, this is
that would hurt
right.
though. That's an orc punch. That would like break you in half.
Yeah, that would hurt like hell. But this is just solidly alright. I can't really think of anything to say about this.
Yeah, I mean, this is really good against aggro, or, you know, you can kill a big dude late game with it.
Yeah.
How is it good against that? How is it good against aggro? Because what are you going to do on turn 2?
Well, it's a rogue card, so
it's not going to echo.
Well, not turn 2, but like you can like turn 3 or 4.
This is a really fair card.
It's fair.
Yeah,
and that probably means it won't get a great deal of play. Moving on. We got the Warrior Legendary. This one looks so cool. This is the Black Howl Gunspire, and that is a super sick name.
Why is this not a mech?
Yep, that is something which is very much up for debate. But yeah, it's a 7-mana 3/8 legendary. Can't attack. Whenever this minion takes damage, deal 3 damage to a random enemy. Not a random enemy minion, random enemy. So there is some cool combo stuff you can do with this. There's
Sudden Genesis.
There's Sudden Genesis, there's Bouncing Blade and Wild, there's all the whirlwind stuff. There's
Bouncing Blade would be ridiculous.
That's going to be hilarious. Yeah, I really like this card. I don't know if it goes in this kind of warrior damage your stuff tempo thing, but I just think it's really cool. I just really like it. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's playable, but
I mean, flavor-wise, it makes sense that it can't attack, but it kind of is frustrating that it can't attack, because if they just ignore it, you just paid some mana for a 3/8.
Yeah, but you're not going to be. This isn't going to be in a deck where they just ignore it and you don't do anything about it. You're going to be the one hitting it.
Yeah, no.
You're going to be the one doing whatever you need to do to make this hitting things on the board. I don't like it. I don't like the flavor of it, really.
Really?
I don't know.
I don't know the flavor.
I don't know why.
It's like a big watchtower.
I think I'd like it. I don't know. I just don't like the flavor. This is just a squirrel thing. So please just ignore my opinion, I guess. But I just don't like it very much.
Doesn't fit in Quest Warlock, therefore Squirrel doesn't like it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool. It has to go in a highly synergistic deck, but that kind of deck sounds really fun to me. So yeah.
Inner Rage would be fun.
Yep. Speaking of inner something, that was a pretty sweet segue into this one. We've got the Lady in White, the Priest Legend, one of the Priest Legendaries. This is a 6-mana 5/5 battle cry. Cast Inner Fire on every minion in your deck.
This is such a cool card.
Holy moly!
Oh, this card.
Holy is Sarah.
Oh, this card. I love this card. Oh, I love it so much.
This card is amazing because Priest is known for, in almost every archetype of Priest, to have high health minions. That's just their thing and what they do well. And playing this on curve just makes any deck so much
It's a
better.
much better kill set.
Yep. Because, yeah, like, Priest, almost every minion that Priest runs will have higher health than it does attack, because that's the nature of Priest. You value trade, you heal your stuff back up. That's how the class has worked forever. And this is just like, okay, just buff all your stuff. Like,
And there's no downside to it. It's not like if your deck doesn't contain any duplicates, or if you only have one cost guys, or an odd cost, or even, or whatever. There's just
You just have to run a 6-mana 5/5.
yeah.
which is not like it's a little understated, but not hugely. It's just like, yeah, I'll just chuck this in my deck.
I can see
no
some
cost
pressure
to
in
myself.
Just
worth
conceding when
It
they
turns
play.
Ysera
Yeah,
into
it's worth
Deathwing.
every penny of its 6 mana 5/5 now.
Yeah.
It literally turns Ysera into Deathwing. That's
Yeah.
mental. For
Yeah.
one less mana without discarding your hand. Like, yeah, there's a lot of decks which you could probably just throw this in.
You can just throw it in for no reason. I mean,
Yeah,
most of your cards have higher health than attack, so you get like a +1 or +2 attack bonus. It's still really good.
This would be fantastic in a Dragon Priest type deck too.
Oh
because
yeah.
the dragons always are so heavily healthed with, your Twilight Guardians, Twilight Drakes. The Drakes you'd have to go out. The Guardians would be able to
Imagine
stay, right?
Nightmare Drake, whatever it's called, the 2/8 that doubles the attack.
Ooh,
The 6 mana 8/8. The
Scaled
Scale.
Nightmare.
Scale
Scale
Nightmare.
Oh
Yep.
man, you
Yeah,
started off
that
the
doubles-
attack.
Yeah, it goes to
Unfortunately,
16.
a lot of the dragons are rotating, but this is something which you can definitely play with a lot in Wild.
Yeah, Wild will be your friend with this card.
But yeah, if you want to play Dragon Priest, go to Wild because this is sick.
Yeah, I mean, Primordial Drake with this card is pretty good.
Yeah.
8 mana, 8/8, deal 2 damage AoE.
Oh man.
Yeah, this card is just really sick, honestly.
Yeah.
And I look forward to having this on
Yeah.
all of my accounts.
5-star card.
Yep. Now, we've got the Cursed Castaway up next. This is a 6 mana rogue rare card. It is a pirate. We've got a new pirate for the set for rogue. So I don't know if that's anything which is relevant with patches going. But it is a 5/3 minion, which for 6 mana is weak. But it does have Rush, and it has Death Rattle. Draw a combo card from your deck.
Basically, it's a 6-mana kill something, draw a card.
Yeah, like it's basically Starfire on a stick,
Yeah.
and Starfire is pretty bad.
Yeah.
So this is probably pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's my take on it. Like you look at the stats and compared to the cost of this, and you compare it to something like Elven Minstrel.
I mean, it'd be fun bringing this back with the Zoth, though.
Rip Nazoth, I will miss you.
You know what? By the time you bring out a Nazoth, most of your combo stuff's gonna be out of your deck already.
Yep, and
I just went for the Rush mainly, but yeah.
Oh yeah, the Rush with Nazoth is kind of cool, but it's just the 3 health with Rush is kind of bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This one specifically meant just to kill itself.
Yep, and that for 6 mana, maybe if this was 5 mana, it would be quite good. But I think for 6 mana, it's just a bit expensive for what it does.
Yeah.
So this is like this is a 2 out of 5, I'd say. And anyone else disagree, or can we move on from this card?
That's about it.
Pack filler. Moving on to my favorite card.
This card, Priest is getting some cool stuff.
This card is Chameleos. This is the other Priest legendary for this set. This is a 1 mana 1/1 beast, but each turn this is in your hand, transform it into a card your opponent is holding, a card in your opponent's hand. So you can spend the entire game looking at one card in your opponent's hand, and then when it's a really good one, you can just play it. but the information that this card gives you is super cool. It just looks so cool. The effect is awesome. It's like a mind reading chameleon. Like, I love the flavor behind that. I'm crafting this card in golden. Don't even care. Yeah. I love this card.
This is a really cool card.
And it's another card which you're just fine with running it.
I think that this is absolutely a 5-star card.
Yeah.
I think that there's so many times when you mind vision on one and you're like, I got a coin.
Yes.
Or I got something really terrible. But with this, you can wait. There's a lot of strategy, but the information is just ridiculous.
Yeah, you will get one card which you know 100% that is in your opponent's hand, so you can just play around that card. And that's dope. Real dope. And yeah, like I said, I love the card. It's a chameleon which changes colour according to your thoughts. That's sweet.
Oh yeah.
I think we can all wax lyrical about this card. Yeah. We're all in agreement that it's just
some 5-star legendaries.
Yeah, both priest legendaries are sick, and obviously I'm quite happy about that.
This. You know how like they're a couple of sets ahead. They probably designed this set shortly after like the whole priest uprising last year when priest was terrible.
The priest uprising kind of ended when Guide Design came out.
Yeah, but they were probably already designing the set by then.
Yeah, so that was like 4 expansions ago. So they would have been like probably just starting work on this one at that point.
Well, these cards are fantastic. So thank you very much, Blizzard, because these are fun.
Good.
They're good. And it's what you want from a legendary.
Yeah, I agree. Like compare this to
is
say
it's not Crowley.
Yeah, compare this to the warrior legendary. You're like we were just like I could run 2 of these in a deck and it wouldn't be unfair. Running 2 of these in a deck, you'd be like, oh, damn.
And if you're a newer player listening, don't let the 1-mana 1/1 stats of this card fool you. That's not really what this card is. You know, like it could be like if you draw it and your opponent has nothing, like, but that's not going to happen too often. I know as a newer player, I was so hesitant to craft Blood Mage Thalnos because I was like 2 mana for a 1/1 guy. Like, what's so good about this guy? And so really take a good look at this card and know that this is going to be really powerful.
Yeah.
Save your dust for this guy.
That's what I'm doing, and I'm crafting it in gold for sure. Not sure about Lady in White yet, but this one is 100% happening. But yeah, moving on to the next one, we've got a Duskhaven Hunter. This is one of the Worgen cards. It's a 3-mana 2/5 to start off with. Stealth. Each time this is in your hand, swap its attack and health. And as it's a Worgen, like, it'll do the old switcheroo as we've seen. And this is the Hunter one. Obviously the idea is you can choose to play a Ice Rager with stealth if you want, or you can pay a Carrion Grub with stealth. And neither of those cards are particularly good with stealth. With stealth, the 5/2 is kind of okay, but it's still kind of bad. And yeah, it has no beast tag.
Yeah, what I'm sad about is that they didn't make a Worgen tag. I know that they did a lot this set, so they probably were thinking, all right, we have Echo, we have Rush, we're getting rid of Enrage. We're doing a lot of things. So adding a Worgen tag, but like these cards are not good on their own. And if there was something that synergized with them, like give all your Worgen in your hand, or any Worgen you play this game, you know, any kind of cards like that, that would have been cool. And it would have inspired some deck building ideas. I know that Edelweiss would have had a ton of fun with Worgen and deck building, but so that's what I think was lacking as far as this goes. And I don't think that they're really going to keep the Worgen thing going past this expansion. So
I think Worgen's just for this set.
Right, exactly. So I feel a little disappointed from that perspective.
Yeah.
this is like pack filler, but it's just slightly more interesting pack filler. And
These are cards that I really love the flavor of, that I feel like didn't get the love they deserved.
I'm still holding out for a working legendary that does the swapping. That have like different effects depending on what side it is.
That would be pretty cool. But we've seen a lot of the Worgen lore characters already have their cards released, so I'm not sure which one that would be.
Yeah.
But anyway, this card is meh. Moving on to another Hunter card. This is the Hunter Epic. We've got the Toxmonger, who also looks like it's a Worgen, but doesn't have the Worgen effect. But it's a 4-mana, 2/4. Whenever you play a minion that costs 1, give it poisonous. Quest Hunter hype.
Quest Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, pretty good with Stonetail's Boar.
Yeah.
Real good.
I mean, it's not summoned. If it was summoned, like play Alley Cat and they have 2 1/1s, poisonous. But...
Yeah, I mean, there is some funky stuff you can do with this card. I'm just not quite sure what it is yet. Obviously, with the Karnas's Brood, and if you have a bunch of those with this, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
If you got the Tundra Rhino up as well, that's even better. Like, this feels like a Quest Hunter card. I'm just not sure if Quest Hunter's going to even remotely be a thing. So we'll have to wait and see on that one.
Yep.
And it is a 4-mana 2/4, which is really bad.
Really bad.
Yeah.
So this card is a TVC on like the rating front, I think. Quest Hunter should be fun though. We can at least give it a try. We'll
yeah.
We'll get
Hopefully, I'll be able to do
report
better
back
than I
to us.
did last time I was at Squirrel's Fireside. I haven't played Quest Hunter since then.
Too traumatized from that moment.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think there's not too much more to say about this one. Now we've
Yeah,
got
we can move on.
the sickest card art ever.
Yeah,
This
this
is-
card art is awesome.
We've got the Witching Hour. This is a 3-mana druid rare spell. And as you can see from the incredibly epic atmospheric card art, this does something incredibly powerful. It summons a random friendly beast that died this game. I just have no idea what the card art has to do with the card.
It's a full.
Like, look at that art. It's so, like, epic. And the effect is so boring.
Yeah. I mean, there's some good beasts coming out. I don't know.
Yeah, like, my
Let's
absolute biggest problem with this card is the fact that Malfurion the Pestilent and Spreading Plague summon beasts.
That's right.
This card...
3 mana, summon a 1/5 taunt.
Yep. Like, unless you're doing a deck which, like, just runs, like, Bittertide Hydra or something of that nature, like you only run a couple massive beasts, then this kind of makes sense.
Right.
That
Yes.
What I've learned. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dubs.
My guess is this was a very, very broken card. And then all the UI stuff was going on. And they're like, oh, crap, we have to change this. And now they made it to this. And we just will never know what it was originally.
Yeah, that sounds
What
like a
I've learned
reasonable guess.
very much from the last few months of play with the Spiteful decks and the Kingsbane decks are that random doesn't necessarily mean random if there's only one in the deck.
That's true.
And that's what I could see this being used as someone building a specific deck around a specific beast.
Yeah. I mean, there's that bear we'll talk about.
And using this as a 3-mana resurrect. I mean, if resurrect was 3, I don't know if it would see play, but it's pretty close. I mean, at 2, it's a must play in resurrect priest. So I think that's what this is for. That the new thing is taking random out of random cards. And
but in order to do that, you need to not run the Druid Death Knight, and that sounds bad.
Yeah, that's the only issue. And then you have to be really careful playing Spreading Plague as well.
Yeah, Spreading Plague is a pretty good card.
it is.
I would rather play Spreading Plague than this card.
Right, but this
To be
will live past. But this will live past them. This will live to for 2 years. So
That's true. I mean, this
a
could
year
be
from
really-
now, those cards will be gone.
I suppose this we'll revisit this card in a year.
I think it has potential. I think it has potential for the deck builders that like to cheat the system and make these really powerful decks.
Yeah, I mean, just like we talked about earlier with that dragon card, let's not judge a book by its cover just yet.
No, I am fully judging the dragon card as terrible. I will stick to that opinion. I will stick to that opinion for the 2 years it's in the standard. It's gonna
I
be
meant the
bad.
worm. Yeah, Imerus is just bad. I meant the worm. That
okay.
if you're holding a dragon.
That's another point too, is that these cards get the full 2-year treatment as opposed to cards being released at the end of a year. So these cards are going to last for 6 to 9 months longer than the other cards in the sets or in the Year of the Raven. So
It's true.
Yeah.
Maybe this card. We'll have to come back to this one, but for now it's pretty bad.
yeah.
Moving on, we've got the Witchwood Grizzly. We've got a Spectral Bear.
This is the card I was talking about with Witching Hour.
Yeah, this is a 5 mana, 3/12 taunt. It's a beast, so there's the obvious synergy with the last card. It's Battle Cry, lose 1 health for each card in your opponent's hand. Has been concerned that the starting health will still be 12. It's just damage rather than its actual health.
It's
being
weird
lowered.
because you think it'd be worded deal damage equal to
Yeah,
lose
that's what I
set itself at something or what?
Yeah, it makes me think like it has like a kind of Twilight Drake kind of thing where that's its starting health, but apparently that is not the case. 5 mana 3/12, pretty strong.
Yeah, I'm gonna play this against Warlocks all day.
Yep. Can play this
Play it.
increased with the legendary Lady in White. 5 mana
Yeah,
12/12.
that would be very good. Yeah.
5 mana 12/12 taunt. Seems
This also
pretty
goes
good.
Oakheart too.
Yep. This is also what I think will go in that kind of Oakheart fatigue druid thing. That is one of my predictions. But yeah, this is a card which is made to be cheated out. And it's just a matter of how you cheat it out is the thing.
Yeah.
Obviously
I agree.
doesn't quite fit the Oaken Summons thing, because that would be broken as hell. Could resurrect it with the moon. I've already forgotten its name.
Witching Hour. And it's such a cool name too.
Yeah, it's
a
just-
cool card. You read it, you're like,
Cool art, cool name,
Lame
bad
fact.
text in the box.
Yep, that's the way it works. But yeah, I think this card's sick.
Yeah, I like it.
really, really
it's
good
gonna-
in arena.
It's gonna get played. We'll see how and when this card gets pulled out. But
somebody did the math. This card actually cancels out Void Lord. Like it has the same amount. Like they trade into each other. Like an entire Void Lord would have
Really?
to. The Void Lord and all the Void blockers would have to all attack and kill this. So like it pretty much evens out. So this effectively
Awesome.
is a 5 mana Void Lord. So now every deck can do it. Depending
Yes.
on how the cards in your opponent's hand.
Yep, and I mean, it's turn 5 as well. That's when Warlocks do it.
Yep. They're like, fine, you don't like Q block, everyone gets one.
and its base stats is 312. So even if you cubed this thing, it would come back as 312.
Cube Druid.
Cube is just running amok, man.
Yeah, I
We
feel
need
like
that-
Cube's
we need that Muck
probably
Hunter.
the card which should be nerfed when that happens.
Yeah.
Cube's just too good. Yeah, this card is pretty sweet.
Yep.
I think that's
And it's rare, not an epic. So thank you
Yeah.
Yeah.
on that.
But let's
Speaking
get,
of epics,
let's get a hustle on to the Cathedral Gargoyle, the really weird looking bird head thing. And this is a Paladin epic. It's a 2 mana 2/2 battle cry. If you're holding a dragon, gain taunt and divine shield. Obviously that effect is nuts.
they view that effect as an epic. Like, it's crazy.
Gargoyle, red alert.
Two mana 2/2 taunt with divine shield is nuts. Dragons though in Paladin, I don't see that happening. At least this expansion, unless there's several more dragons.
Even in Wild, I don't see this really happening. They're going to have to print some crazy dragon stuff. Maybe they're just setting us up. I don't know.
Yeah,
But think about the
future.
curbstone in this, though, going from Righteous Protector into this Gargoyle. You know, one mana, 1/1 Divine Shield and Taunt to 2 mana, 2/2 Divine Shield and Taunt. That's nasty.
Yeah, definitely.
Into Unidentified Maul, into Call to Arms, into some other stuff.
Yeah, I know it's not about getting us Call to Arms. Then it's just a 2/2.
Yeah, obviously there is very negative synergy with Call to Arms, and I do like that.
Yeah.
It weakens Paladin a little bit, and it needs that. But I do think this is just one for the future, and it's not going to be very good now.
Yep.
Cool. Moving on.
Yep, next.
Woodcutter's Axe. We've got a 2 mana 2/2 warrior weapon. Death Rattle, give a random friendly minion with Rush +2/+1. So, yep. More Rush synergies. An early weapon,
2/2,
which warrior really needed. You know, they needed a turn 2 weapon after the whole Fiery Borax nerf thing.
Yeah.
And the Death Rattle's pretty good. 2 mana 2/2 weapons we've seen with Jade Claws are really good.
Yeah. And then, I mean, you could play this on turn 2, turn 3, play the Wasp, or, I don't know, something.
I think this is really good with the Wasp. That
kill 2 minions, and then the Wasp kills something else.
Yeah, the Wasp becomes a 2 mana 3/4, then it hits into like something, it can become like a 2 mana 6/3.
Yeah.
2 mana Worgen Greaser. I think that's the cost Worgen Greaser needed to be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this card is solid. It's not going to set the world on fire. It's pretty good. And again, if that Tempo Warrior Rush thing is good, this card will 100% be in it. Because early weapons are really, really powerful. And Arena card, like in Arena you take this without any Rush minions. Because it's just a 2 mana 2/2 weapon, and that's...
Yeah, absolutely. Regardless.
So yeah, good card. Deadly Arstal. A 6-man, another warrior epic.
Right, it's a 6 mana deal 2 to everything if you pull out your Woodcutter Axe.
Oh yeah, the synergy there is incredible. But just to understand Squirrel's joke there, Deadly Arsenal reads, reveal a random weapon in your deck. Deal damage equal to its attack to all minions. So obviously we think Gorehowl, but Gorehowl is not a card which is ever played. So... And Warrior doesn't really have a high attack weapons except Gorehowl and Arcanite Reaper. Blood Razor has 2 attack, Woodcutter's Axe has 2 attack, War Axe has 3 attack. None of those are great AoEs for 6 mana.
Nope.
This art really makes me upset for some reason. This does not look like Hearthstone art. It's awesome, but it doesn't look like Hearthstone art. This is like fine detail, and all the other ones are like cartoonish. It's just,
it looks different, but there's a lot of things which look different.
it's a good card, but it makes me feel uneasy. Makes me feel uneasy.
Yeah. The one thing I don't like about the art is it really doesn't kind of fit the expansion at all. Like this looks like a kind of build your own adventure books cover.
Yeah. Or like the end of a Dungeons and Dragons run, and you get all your loot.
Yep. This guy is just off on an adventure, and I'm not sure what he's doing.
This should have been in Kobolds and Catacombs.
Yeah. This looks like a Kobolds and Catacombs card. Like 100%. Yeah. I think they just drew it too late. But I don't think this card is very good, I've got to say.
Yeah.
It's another bad epic. And those are fine. Do you think it's a bad epic, Dubs? Can we move on?
I mean, yeah, I don't like the card just because of the art, so we can move on.
Yep, this card's pretty bad. We got Duskfaller Avian, although I've seen some people saying that it's actually Duskfaller Aviana, and this is like a kind of corrupted Aviana.
It's a very interesting card.
Yep, and I think that changes quite a lot of the perception of it. Really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can choose that with like Alarma Bot, which would be really fun. And then you get a free card.
Yeah, so but before we start talking about it, Duskfaller Aviana, or Avian, whichever one it turns out to be, is a 5 mana 3/7 Druid legendary. The first card each player plays each turn costs 0.
It's card, not minion.
Yep, card. So huge potential there, but this card is so unfathomably bad.
Yeah.
Because obviously, this card is the first card you play each turn, so you do not get the effect of this minion when you play it. Your opponent, however, does. And this is a card which will die 100% of the time. Because not only do you play it into your opponent's board, you give them the mana to remove it. So all that's going to happen is your opponent will kill it, they'll get some slight upside from the effect, and then nothing else will happen. You've literally just played a card to do nothing. People will talk about the potential upsides, like, oh, you can get a 0 mana ultimate infestation, and those people are idiots. This card is terrible. Like, it's the worst card in the set so far, I think.
Yeah, I'm not super thrilled with it. It's interesting because but you never know. I recall one of our 3 co-hosts saying, "Wow, I'm playing Millhouse Mana Storm in Legend right now." So it can happen where the Millhouse. I mean, this is even worse than Millhouse because it's any card. But
no, I would go even further. This card is like a worse Temporus.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Temporus guarantees you the upside at the very least. This card doesn't even do that. This card gives your opponent the upside and allows them to take the upside away from you using the upside. That's just so bad.
Yeah.
I saw this card and I thought, am I missing something? So I was tweeting about it and I was like, what is the point of this card? What does it do? How does this happen?
What about if your opponent dirty ratted it? That would feel good.
Yes, this is now a dirty rat tech and wild. That's it. Every druid deck, just in case.
Just in case you put it in your Malagos druid just as a tech to an extra minion to play around Dirty Rat. That is it. Right, so this card sucks real hard.
Moving on.
Speaking of cards which suck really hard, we got the Witch's Cauldron.
I had such good high hopes when I saw this card's art.
Yep, this is the Witch's Cauldron. This is Hagatha's Cauldron, so I mean, we've got the theme, the flavor there. This is essentially Summoning Stone v 1.5. This is a 3 mana 0/4. Great stats. It's an epic, another bad epic, and it's whenever a friendly minion dies, add a random shaman spell to your hand. So this is like a worse cult master. Like, what the hell? You can. So, as far as I can tell, you know what the best thing about this card is? You can complete your play 50 shaman cards quest with any class now. That is why this card exists.
That's perfect.
Like, what's the point? Why? What does this do? Like, I guess, like, the absolute best case is you have Hagatha up, you play a minion, you get the spell from playing the minion, then you have this, and then when the minion dies, you get another spell. You get 2 random shaman spells. Yay.
That's perfect.
And, like, I don't think you even put this in a Hagatha deck. I just... like, what? Why? What does this do? Hit us up in chat if you can think of the one time this is good.
It could be, you know what though? It could be a 3 mana 4/4 if you played it a lady in white deck.
There you go.
Yes! That's it. 3 mana 4/4. You get an Ogre Brute. Oh god. Yeah, I'm done talking about this card. It sucks. Moving on. Let's talk about a good card. A really good card. We got Wing Blast. A 4 mana hunter rare spell. Deal 4 damage to a minion. If a minion died this turn, this costs 1.
So trade your alley cat in and kill their thing.
But just trade anything in. Like,
Yeah.
I obviously Spell Hunter probably not going to survive losing Barnes Yashiraj as well as Catrick. So I think Minion Hunter minion based hunter, just kind of mid range hunter with like rush being a big part of that.
It's not even friendly minion; it's just minion.
Yeah, minions dying happens a lot in Hearthstone. We saw that with Corridor Creeper.
Yeah.
So 1 mana deal 4 damage to a minion is insane. It's just so powerful. I think this is an incredibly strong card. It's going to make the cut in constructed. It's going to be amazing in Arena. And 5 stars.
Fun card. Very fun. Hunter needs this. So that's good.
Hunter removal is pretty powerful. Squirrel, got anything to add? Or can we move on?
I was muted for a sec because I was laughing so hard. No, I love it. I think this is absolutely amazing. I love the rarity of it. Great job.
Yeah, why is this so rare but the cauldrons and epic? Like, what's going on?
They learned.
I love how bad the epics are. It's great.
Yeah, they're like, we learned our lesson. Creeper,
Void Lord, Spiteful Summoner.
But this is fantastic to get from like Rockdillar or anything like that. You just never feel bad with this card in your hand.
It is a good card. Yeah. Just straight up. Yep. So moving on to another bad epic.
Bad epic.
Rat Trap. We got the new secret for this set, and it is like all other Hunter secrets. It is a 2 mana spell. It reads Secret. When your opponent plays 3 cards in 1 turn, summon a 6/6 rat.
I like this card actually. I mean, you don't even have to run it in your deck, and people are going to play around it pretty much forever now. Because,
this card has the thing that it's so bad that no one's going to even play around it.
Right.
Because there's no chance it's in the deck.
Like the snipe of old, like people aren't just expecting it. I can only see this being used in like rare one-offs. Like a lot of Hunter secrets have always like you have your core like Hunter secrets, but there's always a couple like tech secrets you could throw in if like you're really hitting something in the meta. But I just don't see this. I think it's just
like this card is exclusive. I mean, like maybe Miracle Rogue, if that's a thing. But even then, they can just like sap the 6/6, and it's a 6 mana 6/6.
It is a 6/6 rat for 6. So I guess I don't know. I still like it. I think this card's gonna be fun because I mean that won't happen as often. But if you play it on 2, it could go off on turn 3. Or like
if you play this on 2 as a hunter, you're screwed. Because you just wasted turn 2. You just did 2 mana, do nothing until turn 6.
Just wait and see. It's gonna happen. No, I'm just serious. I mean, I was reading. I mean, like, if this does somehow become a problem, like if it.
How could this ever become a problem?
Know. Just hear me out. If this does become good, and now everyone's playing around it, and now everyone's stuck to 2 cards a turn unless they can deal with the 6. So I mean, it has the potential to be a really cool card, and really change the game. We'll see.
How many decks play more than 2 cards?
Well, we know it. So Noah G actually in chat was saying it's an anti-echo tech.
Yep.
Maybe.
I don't know. I like this card. Let's move on.
It's interesting. Ztdubz likes it. It's Easy Black 69. Hard to have removal after playing 3 that in a turn. It could be. Except Rogue can always find a way, especially with all the coins and things.
Perhaps that. But this is the thing. This card is not going to be relevant because most decks do not play 3 cards a turn until about turn 5 or 6. And by that point, a 6/6 is fair. And your opponent probably just doesn't care. Like, Hunter's losing Cat Trick for this. That's not a fair trade.
No. We'll see. It definitely opens the door. So we'll see how it goes.
We shall see. Maybe I'll be proved wrong and this will be meta breaking.
You thought anyone was bad, so we'll see.
Only for a couple of days.
Well, give me a couple days and you'll have a bunch of rats coming at you.
Oh, sure. We'll see. Moving on. This is the last card we have for you all. And how fitting, it's a priest card. We've got Holy Water, a 5-mana priest rare spell. Deal 4 damage to a minion. If that kills it, add a copy of it to your hand.
Awesome card. Priest is getting some good stuff.
Very
It
cool
is.
card.
I like it. And Priest is getting some cool stuff, which very much takes it away from the whole kind of dragon thing, and that's fantastic. We're all done with dragons in Priest, even me. This is just good. Deal 4 damage to a Void Lord. If that kills it, add a Void Lord to your hand. Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
There's a lot of utility to this card. I don't know what kind of deck it would go in. Some kind of control deck, some kind of super greedy control deck, maybe. And that's fun. I like playing greedy control priests. And yeah, I just think this card's very solid. And in arena,
Agreed.
nuts.
And a good rarity.
And
So
yeah,
with that, we are
rarity.
going to wrap up this segment. So we will definitely have more reveals as they come next week.
oh,
We'll talk about them then. So we are going to move on. We are running very late. So Rebobson, can you just hit us up with just with the tournament news and real quick, please?
Yeah.
Boom.
Let's hit it.
Esports.
Nailed it. So just a couple of things tournament wise to talk about. So the big tournament that happened this weekend was the Wild Open finals. And so what happened there was Hamster, who you may recognize, he was the top 8 at Worlds last year or the year before, one of those two. I think it was last year. He beat South Korea's Jinsu 3-1 in the final to win the title. He won with a pretty cool lineup, which was kind of Jade, Druid, N'Zoth Reno Mage, Big Priest, and Q-Block. Let's just discount the Big Priest as being cool. You know, he did it. And while Jinsu had the same lineup, but with N'Zoth Warrior instead of Big Priest. And in the end, it was the Big Priest versus N'Zoth Warrior thing, which just completely undid Jinsu. He just wasn't able to remove Big Priest's stupid amount of stuff. So that was unfortunate. In the kind of notable Wild player watch, Reno Jackson, who's kind of a Wild fan favorite, super cool dude. He came dressed entirely in full costume as Reno Jackson, complete with
Awesome.
like stick-on mustache. Bear in mind that this is a fairly small Japanese dude, and that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep, and like his match in the first round, which was against Faley, who was a player who came second in HCT Oslo a couple weeks ago. So that's also pretty cool. That guy's doing well. And that match between those two was like an absolute highlight of the tournament, because both players were like clearly got on really well. They were posting selfies with each other before the match. They were just like chatting to each other throughout the match and just like laughing and having a great time. It was like a fantastic advertisement.
That's what
for
Wild's all
Hearthstone.
about.
Yeah, it was just like they were clearly just having a great time, and that was lovely to see. Although unfortunately Reno Jackson in his next match, which was against Hamster, he did like kind of just get overwhelmed by the occasion. I think his plays like really were not great, and he got swept unfortunately by Hamster. Interestingly, there were 2 players from each region in this event, and the 2 European players and the 2 Americas players all went out in the first round. The top
I was
4
about to
was
see Jonah go about.
yeah, Jonah Ra, the American hopes and dreams. He just couldn't quite make it, unfortunately. It was just Asia Pacific and China once again dominating. And in upcoming tournament news, very important, friend of the show, Edelweiss, is playing in the Copa America this weekend.
All right, let's go.
Yep, I was actually doing some play testing with Edelweiss yesterday, helping her finalize her lineup. It's pretty sweet. You'll be in for a treat there. Hopefully some matches will be streamed. She's playing Zalay up first. The first round of the tournament is on the 5th and 6th, with the finals on 7th and 8th, which is Saturday and Sunday. All that stuff's going to be streamed at twitch.tv/playhearthstone, of course. And you should absolutely check that out and cheer
Definitely.
Edelweiss on,
We'll
because
be-
she
We'll
is...
be spamming chat. We'll cheer him for her.
Yeah,
Yes,
we are all going to be spamming the hell out of chat.
Yeah, we will try to host that if possible. We will throw it all up on our social media, so please make sure to give a good follow and support our friend of the show.
Absolutely. Quickly, let's have a little chat about Tavern Brawl. But
all right,
not too long.
I'll give you the short and sweet of it. Everything was a 1-mana 1/1. Battle cries stayed the same, and Bone Mare was a nuisance. Actually, I played this to complete all my quests, so I played it a lot on my NAU account. Very fun. I was playing some silly OTK decks with like Priest, Shaman. There's a buddy of mine, Clark. He was playing Murmuring Elemental with Alec here and Bone Mare, and it's just boom, 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 dead. So there's a bunch of really fun stuff. Like I was playing some decks with like Alistraza, and then cards that like deal the thing deals 3 damage with the Battle Cry, deal 2 damage. So I was just trying to like window them down real quick, and then there's just a bunch of really fun Battle Cries. This is a 5 out of 5 for me. This is a very fun. It got me to play it more than 5 times, and if it does that, it's very good. So.
Yep, I played this an absolute ton. This is my favorite Tavern Brawl, like
easily
of all. It's a 5 out of 5 of me as well. I love like this kind of. It's a very unique format which encourages you to like play around and find what the best cards are. Like a real surprise card was the Kobold Apprentice.
Yeah, that card was awesome.
That card was really good. It just casts arcane missiles, kills a bunch of stuff.
It's funny too. You play me, he goes, I know arcane missiles.
I cast arcane missiles is what it says, and arcane missiles is pretty good. Knife Juggler was really good. Violet Worm was like the card I figured
MVP.
out like
Stormwind
instantly was really good. Stormwind Champ, Despicable Dreadlord, pretty good card.
Yeah.
Knife Juggler.
This kind of was a bummer. It was standard though, because I was looking for the Kraken. I was like, let's play the Kraken. I'm ready.
Oh no, it was the one I always remember with this brawl was Alexstrasza Coin Rag.
Yep.
That was the bummer. How about you, Squirrel? What do you rate this one?
On the board.
Oh yeah, no, this is definitely a 5 out of 5 brawl for me too. I love this brawl.
Perfect
I love
score.
Yeah, I love the way that it allows you to be creative and try different things. I don't feel like I feel like there's some brawls where it's like the pick 2 or the pick 3 where someone figures out some insane combo and then everyone net decks it and then everyone's just playing the same thing. And I feel like in miniature warfare, you definitely get a good variety of people doing different things to try and see what works. So I enjoy it. It's great to get your quest done easy. It's great to play against friends. So 5 out of 5.
I mean, it felt great playing Velen into Malagos, into Face Manipulator on Malagos, into Mind Blast, which is
Miracle Priest or Miracle Anything was pretty good.
You die.
Yep.
Bone Mare.
This brawl nailed it.
Fantastic.
Right. So move on to the meta, or are we gonna skip that this week?
Yeah, we can talk quickly about it. Like obviously, it's the Wild Open was.
Yeah. I'll give you guys the skinny on the Wild. So in Wild, we have Warlock and Paladin are pretty much tied with 18%. You know, Warlock's almost 19%. Paladin's closer to 18%. There's a big variety, especially we got Giants Warlock, Cube Warlock, Reno Warlock, Zoo, and then a little bit of just random. For Paladin, we have Secret Paladin, Aggro Paladin, Dude Paladin, Murloc Paladin, all aggro decks. Just different teams.
Face is the place. Call to Arms is a good card.
Priest, Big Priest, Dragon Priest, Reno Priest, Combo Priest. It's no surprise that Big Priest is most of it. And then Mage. It says Ludith Mage, but I think that's just a tempo secret mage. He plays, you guys know the deck.
Hit face.
Reno Mage. Reno Mage is only 3%, which is kind of strange because.
I mean, it's really bad against Giants Warlock.
Yeah, it's a bad deck, so I figured it'd be less than that. But and then we got the rest of the classes. There's
Mali Druid, my fave. Look at Aggro Hunter down all the way down there with like 2%. While Tempo Storm has Aggro Hunter as a tier 3 deck, so it's not we're not even displaying it right now.
You had good time with it.
Yep, worked for me very well. Yeah. But we should note that this is the Vicious Syndicate report data for all ranks. It actually changes quite a lot when you look at just ranks 4 to Legend. Vicious Syndicate have changed the way they do the charts. It's now 4 to Legend because that's the 4 is the rank that Legend players will go back to when a season starts. But if you would go to
28%.
Yep,
That's great.
that is a very different graph to that is hugely different. Paladin hugely upsurges.
Call to Arms is just broken. I mean, there was no Call to Arms, there would be no Paladin right now. I mean, that card is just absolutely busted.
Let's just switch between these two. Boom, boom. Everything else gets Hunter, Shaman, Rogue, Warrior get absolutely
It's so small
decimated.
you can't even see the words. What decks you play.
We know kind of what they are. The only archetypes which get more popular outside of Paladin are Giants Warlock increases, obviously. Big Priest increases, Alaneth Mage increases, and Malygos Druid increases. Everything else either stays the same. Oh, and Cube Warlock.
Yeah.
So those are obviously the best decks. And
then we could talk about the tier rankings on Tempo Storm as well. This is Jade Druid, but it's Fatigue Druid. It runs 1 Jade Idol, that's it, but it's Jade Druid. Dude Paladin, then Giants Warlock from Cube Block, as you guys can see clearly on the Vicious Syndicate report. Tier 2, we got Mally Druid, Dragon Priest, Big Priest, Aggro Paladin, Combo Priest, Aggro Shaman, Anyfin Paladin, which is secret. It's like a secret Murloc combination. Burn Mage, which is the Luneth Mage, and then Pirate Warrior. It's cool to see Pirate Warrior still kicking it. It's definitely not as strong.
Nope, nowhere near. And a lot of these really high decks in the Tempo Storm are represented as being the decks which get more popular at 4 to Legend, with the exception of the Shaman and the Pirate Warrior and the Dragon Priest. Everything else are the decks which increased popularity at ranks 4 to Legend. So if you are looking to, ladder up in Wild, which I recommend you do, it is considerably fun. I would never recommend playing Giants Warlock or Big Priest because then everyone will hate you. But
yeah, it's fun to play, but you always get ads after the game telling you how nice of a person you are.
Yep.
So
it's the best way to make friends in Hearthstone.
Yeah.
So those are our recommendations what to play. I would personally recommend Malygos Druid. Dubs, what would you recommend people to play?
Egg or Breakfast Paladin, call it whatever you want. That deck is just, I don't know, it's a newer
It's just
deck. So
insanely powerful. Egg Paladin is really good.
it's very, 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 very
You got a wild deck of choice.
While I've been playing lots of Egg Paladin, I do love the Face Hunter list that you gave me the other day.
All Dragons list is awesome.
I enjoy it.
My list is better.
Okay, so let's move on. We're running really late. So that is the meta for you in the wild. We can always find the links to those in our show notes.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll have some standard meta to talk about pretty soon. But we'll pick up with that after Witchwood releases. As for the next segment, let's go to Card of the Week. So last week we had the cheat, and the cheat, our arena specialist decided that he would give us a fun card of the week to play with. That was Crackling Doom. For people who don't know what that is, it's an arena-only special card that was voted in, and it is a 0-mana Shaman card that deals 12 damage to everything on the board with an overload of 10. So you're going to give up your turn unless you play something to get rid of that overload. So I was on a mission. I said, I'm going to play a bunch of arena now because I want to play this. And my first 4 arena runs, I didn't even get offered Shaman. So I was like, man, come on. 5th run, I got my Shaman. I was like, all right, time to play with Card of the Week. Not a single Crackling Doom offered, and I have not gotten a Shaman since. So I didn't get a chance to play with Card of the Week. Did any of you guys get a chance to?
Nope, but I watched YouTube videos about it, and it looks fun.
I did.
rebobson, save us.
Yeah, my housemate is a very big arena player, and I'd occasionally do some arena runs with him. I haven't been doing any on my own account because I don't really play a great deal of arena, but do it with him, and I can confirm that Crackling Dune is a silly card.
Were you able to get out things to get rid of your overload?
No, I didn't manage the Eternal Sentinel combo, unfortunately, but I did manage. We did get Crackling Doom into like several minions, and then you're just fine with being overloaded the next turn. It's absurdly powerful.
Yeah. It gives you so much. It gives you so much initiative.
Yeah,
because you doesn't cost you anything to clear the board, so it's pretty amazing.
Then you get your full turn to play your own stuff. Then next turn you just get to trade maybe, and by that point you've probably regained the initiative quite heavily, because if your opponent plays into this and like they extend, and then this just ruins them, and then you win the game. And if you get multiple of these, we did have one where we got 2. It's just very silly.
Yeah.
Because like you just hold it in your hand, you just like bait them out into playing more stuff, and then you wipe out their entire board. They have nothing, and then you win. So this card, really good.
Yeah, there's a good reason why it's going to be leaving the arena. So if you do want to check it out, you can play some arena. You go check it out. Choose Shaman, Crackling Doom, fun card. So thank you, The Cheat, for suggesting that. I will play some arena with you soon. I know we'll be getting together for some card openings, and we'll see you then. Yep. But now for next week, we had some discussion, and one of our new people in our Discord channel, MTG Squirrel, hey, I like the name, recommended for our card of the week, Madame Goya. So I think that's a pretty fun idea.
I'm gonna have some fun with this. I like these kind of cards.
Yeah. So what do you think? Dude, what's the first idea that pops in your head as a kind of deck to build around that? rebobson.
I've got absolutely no idea.
I'm going to swap a bad demon for a void one. I don't know.
No, I mean you can put Reno back in your deck.
Yeah, it could go in something like a Reno deck, but I'm thinking probably more like. Actually, I've got no idea. I need to think about this. I need to do something.
We definitely have a lot of things to do. It's a very interesting card. So if you do have Madame Goya, please give it a try. We'd love to see your screenshots. We'd love to hear any funny stories you have about it. And if you want to do that, you can contact us at Around the Hearth Podcast at gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and we're at Around the Hearth. You can also, again, follow us or subscribe to us on Twitch. We are affiliates, so if you have a free or paid sub that you'd like to give us, please join us there. Also, remember, every week we are now on YouTube. So if you want to watch us like multiple times every week, that's cool.
As many times as you'd like.
You know, we're cool with that, but we're always there for you. So check us out there. Another really, really great way to support the show, if you are unable to do Patreon, is iTunes reviews. They really help our show get seen by more and more people. From the three of us that were probably the only people who downloaded our show a year ago, to the several hundred of you that listen every week, we want to thank each and every one of you once again.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. It's been a very fun year.
And you know, we couldn't do it without you. You guys make the show better by adding content, by chatting in Discord. Please join us in Discord and on Facebook and everywhere else. It's been such an awesome year, and I can't wait until we can do this. Talk about what's happened next year. So, for all of the guys here, I'd like to say thanks once again for joining us, and good luck playing this week. And we will see you next week.
All right, bye, guys.